Hi, my name's Rob Clarkson, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you today to talk about the Boltcard, the open source Boltcard project. So imagine if you could tap and go at merchants exactly the same way you do with Visa and MasterCard, but with no financial intermediaries and at minimal cost.
Thank God, come on. Have it tomorrow.
Well, I've got a demo for you today, but I just need a Bitcoin merchant. Is there any Bitcoin merchants who accept the Boltcard in the crowd?
Oh, I'm in the house today.
Oh, thank you, Andrew.
Welcome to the store.
Thank you. Do you have any orange lifeboats for sale?
Lifeboats, yes, we do have a range of orange lifeboats.
Awesome. How much are they?
For you, sir, 1 Satoshi.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
33 Satoshis, sorry. So we're putting the amount in. Charge. Processing.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Round of applause for my merchant. Thanks. Shameless plug. The card you might have seen me demonstrate there had some laser eyes on it. That's my business. I run with my business partners in the UK at Laser Eyes Cards. And so if, they're the perfect card for if you're a Boltcard maximalist. So essential for you guys. Obviously, you can't use the Boltcard at Visa and MasterCard terminals. It just won't work. It works with Bitcoin over the Lightning Network. But luckily, there is a large and growing list of compatible POS wallets that support it. So some of them are listed here. For a full list, you can check out boltcard.org. So what are the benefits of using the Boltcard? Well, first of all, there's no additional payment fees. So in the traditional legacy Visa and MasterCard payment systems, merchants get charged an additional fee for tap-and-go payments. So there's no such thing with the Boltcard. Also, the device that Andrew demonstrated there, it's basically an Android device just dressed up as a POS, and they cost $150, and the merchants own them outright. So there's no ongoing merchant services fees. The cards themselves are very low cost, less than $1 when you buy them in bulk, so they're ideal. Like I said, no ongoing fees for the merchants. The cards are fully self-sovereign, so you can set them up with your own Lightning node, with your own Lightning hub, and obviously program your own cards. You can connect to other Lightning hub, Boltcard hubs that people have set up as well. Really interesting one here, the payment rules can evolve. So this is programmable money in its finest. You can decide the payment rules. You can say, don't let me spend more than $50 in this particular pub. Or you could say, cut me off when it gets to 11 o'clock and don't let me spend anymore. Or if you program for your kids, you could say, don't let them spend more than $20 in a week and that kind of thing. So you get to be the CBDC in that respect. Also, like with all Lightning payments, instant final settlement for the merchant. Lastly but not least, tapping your Boltcard is way cooler than scanning a QR code. So what are the security concerns? Well, in-pocket scanning is something to be aware of. So if you just have your Boltcard in your pocket, somebody comes up with a POS and taps it, they could take your money. You can get RFID shields, which you can put the card in, and they protect against that. Another issue is a potential malicious merchant. So you could go to the merchant and they show you an invoice for $50, and then when you tap your card, they actually take $80 from your account. It'd have to be a pretty brazen robbery because you'd be stood right in front of the merchant at the time, and so you might not notice, but if you set up your Boltcard with the Boltcard wallet, then you'd get a push notification straight away of the payment, and so you'd be like, hey, what happened here? The other thing to be aware of is card tracking. So some implementations of the Boltcard service, they add IDs to the URL to track your spending potentially, and that's something to be aware of, so that there are some mitigations to that. You can enable privacy mode on the cards. It's just something else to be aware of. Lastly, and perhaps not too likely, but there are devices you can buy that zap the NFC cards, so it's a high-power device, that fires out some radio waves into the card, and it blows the chip, essentially killing the card. So something else to be aware of. So just a quick timeline of the Boltcard services. So that the Boltcard idea and concept itself was come up with by a UK exchange, Coin Corner, and they created the first Boltcard service. My friend Peter Roundhouse of White Wolf Technology released the first open source Boltcard service written in Go. LN Bits then released their open source Boltcard extension. And then finally, in March this year, my company, Ones and Zeros, building on the work that Peter Roundhouse did, we created the Boltcard Wallet, which is an app for Android and soon iOS, which you can use to program your cards. And we feel that's one of the most easiest ways to get going with the Boltcard. So how does it actually work? Well, this is the internals of the Boltcard. So what you can see here is a coil of wire going round and round the card, and then next to that little plus sign, the chip. And what happens is you bring your card near a reader. The reader is emitting electromagnetic waves that excites a current in the coil, which powers the chip, and the chip then communicates to the reader via radio frequency. So what's the tech behind the Boltcard? Well, we've got the LNURL withdraw spec and the LUD17 protocol schemes. The NDEF format is used so that the card can actually be read. And then, quite importantly, NXP's secure unique NFC messaging, which has a special function I'm going to talk about right now. So what does the reader see when you tap your Boltcard? Well, it's this thing right here. It looks very much like a URL. Has a funny protocol at the front. And it has the Boltcard service URL next. And then two very important values, the P value and the C value. So what are these values? Well, the P value is an encrypted, unique card ID appended to a tap counter. So every time you tap your card, there's a counter that increments by 1 each time. So when you tap your card, these values change on every tap. And this means that the card can't be cloned, okay? The encryption keys are set on the card, and that is how your service is able to decrypt it. And then the last value is the CMAC, and that essentially checks the whole URL. So just a quick explanation here. So what's the point of these two values? The proof of card ID is the first one. So when it's sent to your service, you can verify that was my card. And the new tap counter value, it has to be the highest value to know that it's a fresh tap, followed by the last value, which is a proof that the whole LN URL hasn't been modified in transit, so no man-in-the-middle attack. So what does the Boltcard typical sequence interaction look like? Well, first of all, you tap your NFC card, and it's read by the merchant's POS. The merchant's POS then sends that LN URL over to your customer's Boltcard service. The Boltcard service checks that the card ID is correct and that the tap counter is the newest value. And if everything's okay, it responds back with a response, okay, and a token that's sent back to the POS. The POS then sends that token back with the Lightning Network invoice back to the customer's Boltcard server. And then if the payment rules are matched and everything's okay, your Boltcard service says okay and responds back again. And then asynchronously, your Boltcard service says to your Lightning node, pay this merchant's invoice, which is then paid to the merchant's Lightning node. And then the merchant's Lightning node tells the POS that the payment's been made, and the POS then shows you that on the screen. So that's everything that happened in the background when I tapped my Boltcard there on the POS when Andrew brought it up.
Hello guys, we are here at the school again with the Bitcoin Boltcards. Kids are buying bananas and other fruits for 1 cent of reais, and that's it. Every day at the school they can buy what they want, and it's incredible. Thank you very much, all donors. They are operating here the machine. They have their cards. It's awesome. Let me see your card. Here. Satoshi Nakamoto is here.
quite heartwarming to see the future maximalists there with their Bitcoin T-shirts on. They're paying for fruits and vegetables. And that's the Bitcoin beach in Brazil there. So next up is a bit of a practical, so a bit unusual, but if you want to try out programming your own Boltcard, I have some Boltcards available here, and Andrew's going to go and distribute those. So apologies that we have the Android version of the app working at the moment, but unfortunately the card programming part isn't quite finished for the iOS version yet. So it's going to sound a bit silly, but you can actually program your card on iOS, but you need a friend with an Android device just to finish the last bit of the programming. We're working on the iOS app right now, and it should be available soon, trademark. So what you need to do is you go to boltcardwallet.com. If you'd like to try it, put your hand up, and Andrew will come around and bring you a card. So what we did is we forked Blue Wallet. So what you'll notice when you load it up is something that looks very similar to Blue Wallet. The first thing you need to do is you tap on, once you've downloaded the app, you tap on Add New Wallet, and then it will give you the new wallet, and you need to add a hub URL. Now, full disclosure, the hub URL will be the custodian of your Lightning funds. Okay, so there's a demo hub set up at hub.boltcard.com, and there's a little QR code button on the input there, and if you tap that QR code, you can scan the QR code on the projector here, and it will enter that value already automatically into the hub. Yep. Yes, so recommend, obviously, for demo purposes, using the hub's fine, and it's obviously for spending money only. You wouldn't put your life savings on the hub. And so you can try it out, and you can try tapping it with the wallet of Satoshi if you've got it, or on Breeze POS, so you can tap it on your neighbor's phone to test. Once you've entered the hub URL into the Add New Wallet box, you click Create Wallet, and then it takes you through to the next screen. You tap on the wallet, and then it opens on the phone, and you should see a Connect Boltcard button. You then tap on that button. You've got to make sure that NFC is enabled on your phone, so you can do that in the settings. If you swipe down from the top, you should be able to find NFC in there if your phone is NFC capable. And then once you've tapped on the Connect Boltcard button, you tap and hold the card. It's important that you hold, don't whiz it past. Hold it there until you see all the ticks where it's programmed the card. And what happens there is the keys are requested from the Boltcard hub, and they're sent to your phone, and then your phone programs the card with the keys, locking the card to your Boltcard wallet. Finally, you just need to load up your wallet with some sats, which if you don't have any, you can come and see me, and I'll give you some to test with. And then you can use our POS device, come down and try it out, and tap your Boltcard to test out a payment. Thank you very much for attending. If you're interested, you can add us on Telegram and Twitter. If you've got any problems, let us know in the Telegram group, or you can come and see me in the pub later, and I'm more than happy to help you out. If you have got any good iOS programming skills, more than happy to accept any help with programming up the iPhone. Otherwise, come and check us out on boltcard.org or boltcardwallet.com. Thank you very much. Yeah, question.
Just a question. So, I have two businesses, and the challenge that I have is that, I suppose the question is, when are we going to I want to get rid of the banks and all that type of stuff, right? And I know at the moment we don't seem to have the tech, but what we want is one of those things that takes away the banks, that customers can come in, use Visa, Master, Amex, whatever it is, and Bitcoin or all that, so that it's a complete one unit, one system that's easy for customers to use. When are we going to get that, or when's someone going to come up with that?
So the difficulty there would be the one system. So you can obviously have, for $150, you can have the separate payment rail there. But I'm guessing you want to integrate it into your point of sale terminal and your accounting packages.
You
And
need that because we have our customer staff change so often, and we're not sitting in the business. So to create a whether it's bulk pay or whoever it is, then you've got to have a system, a separate system to do that, and that's not going to be a good customer experience to do because it's only every now and again. But if we had a POS terminal that just did everything, it doesn't matter. You train someone up on that, and they can do. The customer can do anything that they choose.
so if your POS terminal is an Android device, you'll be able to install a Bitcoin wallet separate to the sort of POS system, and so the staff could potentially switch between the wallets there to accept payment in Bitcoin. I don't know if that would that satisfy you as a solution, or that's the best.
At the moment, I think we've just got to wait for Stripe or something like that. Is that or Square to change or do something? Sorry?
I'm hearing Amber App is potentially a solution for you.
Not at the moment, it's not,
Okay,
but I'm hoping it is.
all right.
Can you run multiple card payment plus on an Android device?
Yeah, so the question is, can you run multiple cards on one device? And that's correct. You can add as many cards as you can fit on the phone, which I'm not entirely sure the total number is. It's probably a large number. And so you could program them up for your kids. And like I say, when anybody taps the card, you get a push notification of how much was taken. So yeah, quite useful.
Would you mind going back to the workshop slide?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Do you sell a laser eyes account here?
Do I have a Sailor Laser Eyes card? I don't, I'm afraid. But if you go to lasereyes.cards and you give us an email, if you send us the imagery through that you own, we can create the card for you. So we have a designer section. So if you'd like your own custom card, you can send us an email. And yeah, we've got the LEDs themselves have coils around them, so there's a certain particular spacing, but it's all on the website there. The info's there. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much.